This episode of The Direction is brought to you by One Call Concepts, when safety is on the line. This week's episode is probably going to be a little different than most. We're going to take a look back at some of the year's highlights and years past. You know, this guy right here, Jimmy, we actually have become good friends over the years. Our friendship kind of started on a business basis of safe digging and the 811 message and promoting that safe digging to folks and letting them know how important it is to call 811 before they dig.
Absolutely.
But as time evolved and trip after trip, really what fishing and the outdoors is all about is we started building these memories. We started building this friendship. At times, it's like being two brothers because we're out there just, harassing each other beyond harassment. I mean, me editing all your fish out of the show.
It happens.
You know, and that's really what it's all about. You know, you look back at all these trips we've taken and even all the trips that I take with other folks through the year, and I get to look back on those memories, and, you know, it's just really what it's all about. I'm Mark Stowe, and each week we head out fishing.
All right.
Here we go. Being joined by people who have a story to share. Join us as we tell their stories and catch some fish along the way. This is The Direction. Well, Venice, Louisiana is an awesome place to catch giant redfish. My experience there was all about fish, but I think his experience was there about mine not having a great time at one point.
It was a good day watching you get sick, I must say, only because of your comments that you would never take me back if I got sick. So I knew where we stood. I fished around you. So it was kind of, I felt bad for him, but it was kind of awesome to catch fish walking over him as he's sitting in the bottom of the boat.
Jimmy, are you over there taking pictures?
I'm sorry, man. I can't help myself.
You know what that's called. I mean, we can call that. Oh, that's not even kosher, you know?
It's called editing control.
At this juncture, you got control, that's for sure.
Make sure his fish makes the show now.
Oh, all of them will make it. Just quit taking pictures of me. It'll be blackmail, I promise you.
Man.
All them fish you've caught all 5 of them.
I feel as bad for you as you feel bad. But I need something to remember this moment.
Oh, yeah.
Venice was nice and warm. T-shirts and good weather. And we had a little rain that one day, but that wasn't bad. Illinois, we could have frozen to death out there on that lake.
Let's see, what do you expect's gonna happen? Cold weather. So what do? Go crappie fishing with none other than our buddy Mike Helton of Denali Rods. He takes us to fish with a guy named Justin Berry on a power plant lake, and well, it was slightly well below the freezing mark, and we're out there catching crappie. But the key word was we were still catching crappie. We threw a shirt on you that said, "Put them in the box, boys."
Put in the box, boys.
But Jimmy won't go back with me. I've actually been back, and he won't go back.
I'll go back in July.
I think we're dialing in just a little bit. Got a crappie up there in the water, see?
Oh, this is a monster. Where you at, Zach?
There you go. Look at that. Hey, wait, they got a double going. Winging oven in the boat. Another crappie. Just put us on a little pile of them. There he is. Nope. Yep. Oh yeah, that's a good one too. There's a big old fat one. Now that is a nice crappie. We got to put things in the box, as Jimmy would say. I think it's a Maryland thing. You know, let's hear you say that. So you can only, now you got to say that in a country style. Put them in the box, boys. Just don't sound like that. Well, the Florida trip is one that, you know, I'm gonna have to give you a little credit. You know, you talk about last cast, me catching some big fish, but You know, we're down there catching some okay fish, but you know, when you go to Florida, you gotta have some of those big Florida strain Piggly Wigglies. And what do? Sit down and take a lunch break, get up, grab a rod, and
Catch a fish.
don't let him get off. Hold on, I'm going to get him. Easy, easy, that's a stud. To get the net. Hold on, easy, don't pull him hard. Pull him hard, don't pull him. Easy, that's a monster.
Get him.
Oh yeah, Jimbo, how about that, baby? Woo! Look at that.
That's the fish.
Now, that's what we come for, Purple Blue.
Nice.
Woo, look at this guy right here. Look at this guy. Woo!
That's the boy right there.
Now that's the game we talking about.
You ain't lying.
Good cast, baby.
Where have you been all day?
That's the kicker we've been waiting on.
for.
This segment was brought to you by Ranger Boats, still building legends one at a time. This segment is brought to you by Power Pole, swift, silent, secure. Well, Mexico was a dream trip for me. You know, we ended up going down there right off the bat. I caught a 10-plus pounder, and that's something I'd always wanted to do. In that same trip, I watched Nick, my 10-year-old at the time, end up catching just a big old 8-pound fish, and to think he did that young, them were like dream moments for me. Pulled up on a pretty sweet spot here, and these fish are just drilling this big old crankbait. Yeah, that's a good one. Oh yeah, look at this giant. Easy. Don't stab, don't stab. Oh my, woo, baby! Folks, this is what I came to El Salto for right here. I ain't never caught nothing like this before, folks.
Yeah, maybe more.
I'll give him 8.5.
It's only 10.
Whoa, only a 10-pounder.
You shake it this way, okay? Yeah.
Oh yeah, look at the boy. Here we go. Nick gonna get it going this morning for us. Oh, Nick, look at this fish. The biggest fish you've ever caught right here.
Yeah, it's come back. It's no more. It's come back, come back.
There you go. Oh yeah, look at it.
More like.
Oh yeah, 8 pounds, baby. Wow, what a stud, Nick Calvin. You know, just talking about him, you know, people in general. You know, this season I got to film with a really unique guy, and you follow this guy because he has a common interest in the, you know, 811 and safe digging message. And this guy, you know, Carl Parks. Carl's story was just one as a father of 2 sons and a daughter, and that was just totally inspirational and humbling, and makes me realize I really don't have a bad day. Carl actually lost his 18-year-old son in a single car accident 9 months prior to me getting the opportunity to go film with him. And CJ is your only son.
Yep, CJ was my only son. Anyone to know what it's like to lose a child. It's terrible. It's the worst thing ever. Like the worst feeling you could ever have, times 10. But when it happens, you know, you've got 2 options. You turn away from God, or you run to Him. And I've been walking with the Lord for so long, it made me want to run even faster to Him. Because now I know where my son is, and it makes me want to get there that much quicker. You know, and then on the way there, you know, we've only got so many days. Obviously, an 18-year-old dies in a car wreck. You know, that's none of that's ever planned. You have to figure out how to deal with it. And the way I dealt with it was, you know, loving on people, loving on his friends, which was a big deal because I baptized 34 of them at the funeral. We looked at it as, you know, taking a terrible situation and letting God make something good out of it.
Terry McWilliams is a great friend, a great guy. There's another guy that is so humble about his accomplishments and what he's done as a fisherman. And I got to go on the White River with him. And Jimmy, this thing is not any, I don't know that there's a spot much over your waist anywhere in this river, and you're in a jet boat running up it. To get to spend the day with a guy that I consider a, you know, an idol of a fisherman, you know, I'm looking up to him because one, his humility, two, his knowledge, and three, just the person he is. You know, he carries himself in a way that you enjoy being around him. And, you know, to get to fish with this guy, and I got to catch a double with him, both to stand there beside him, both me and him reeling in them two smallmouth together in that episode was a joy for me. Get out of here, Terry. 3 times the same fish on the same log.
There's another one there with her.
Is there another? Oh, there is. Hold on, let me throw over there. Hold on, I'll get her all off the There he is. Look at this. We got a show going. Oh my goodness. Look at these twins right here.
You reckon they're sisters?
Oh my goodness. Terry, I don't think we can script. I don't think you can script stuff like this.
I hope the camera battery wasn't dead.
Oh, I don't think the camera battery's dead on this note. Look at that.
That's a pretty good double there. Thank you, brother.
This segment is brought to you by Denali Rods, tournament tested, tournament tough. Well, one memorable moment for this year for me was getting to go to Alabama with my daughter, Lauren. I actually took her down there to a friend of mine's house, Michael Hatton, and me and him took Lauren out to a little private lake down there, and we went out and fished together for the day. Me and her got out on the water and got to share just a great day together and a fun time. All right, Lauren, cam it. Ready? Keep pulling pressure on him. Don't let off of him. Don't let off. Reel to him, reel to him. Look, you're knocking the cameraman down. You're knocking the cameraman down. Keep on, Lozy. Wait, let me make him look like a giant. Hold on, let me get him.
My reel.
We're producing a whole different style of show this week. Keep on reeling, Lozy. It's a giant, big bass. Look. Oh, there he comes. Look. Oh. I mean, look at that giant. We have to do them up close and personal like that to get them to. That's a giant.
Hold on.
The Lauren can.
Look, you have to.
Oh, you gotta do it like that?
Yeah, let me.
Hey, see, fishing ain't about catching fish. It's about having fun.
I want to stick it down his mouth.
All right, a little shot. There you go. All right, get a good slow-mo of him. You're putting him in the water. Ready? I'm done. There's a slow-mo. Oh, look at him. Oh, giant slow-mo. Talking about family, fathers and daughters, I got to fish with Maddie Garner. I know her father again from fishing. Maddie was actually born deaf, and she, through cochlear ear implants and the persistence of her parents, has went on to have perfectly good hearing. I got out on the water with her for the day, and this kid was competitive. She ends up looking her dad in the eye.
Seen that.
All right, what are we going to do?
I want a picture with you real quick. Isn't that pretty? All right, let me snip the bait itself off, Mark.
Okay.
not being funny, but there's no just popping that out. All right, I'm gonna put my hand up against your face, okay? Okay, that's a good part. Now we don't have a bait hanging there.
Well, what do you think we should do?
Well, I can't, I mean, it's not in your eyeball, nowhere near it. It's up here, but you're the one that can feel it. No, but don't pull, don't push down on it. I've never been hooked.
I got hooked in the finger once. Never quite like this.
Money 911.
Let's call before we dig, aren't we?
We're gonna dig this out of his eye here in just a second.
Well, no, we didn't try that. We thought about trying it, but we...
How shook is that?
I want to keep that hook if you don't mind.
I'm sure you do.
That's a pretty good idea.
It's out.
It's out.
It's out.
That was simple. In the future, but it probably better to cut that thing back a little bit.
This segment is brought to you by Bloodhound, the leader in private utility locating. Now it's time for your safe digging moment of the week, brought to you by 811. Always remember to call before you dig. We're gonna call this the moment of the year, and I think it really needs to go to a person.
I agree, and I think the moment of the year, the person has to be Carl Parks. For Carl to come out in front of the camera and share his story, his love of fishing with his son, and more importantly, his faith. After suffering the loss he suffered, to have the faith he has, and he's truly been a blessing.
And I am humbled and was privileged to be able to stand in that boat with him and have the opportunity to share the platform on which he lives his life on, and that's his faith. And that's my simple amen. Think about you and your demeanor on life, and to approach you and just pick up a phone. You know, there was a tugging to do that, and that tugging is, like you said, it's a good Lord. And sometimes, just like this show, and opportunity just like you to get out here and fish and get to know somebody that I don't even know.
The Lord, He like knits us all together, and we're all connected somehow, some way. And it's just, are we open to what God is doing at that moment? We're gonna have to account for that one day, and He's gonna say, what did you do with the talents I gave you? You know, and I wanna hear, all I wanna hear is, well done, good and faithful servant. That's all I wanna hear.
Well, groups of kids are always fun. And we did an episode where we took out a bunch of the kids here locally with the high school football coach. Well, Nick, he loves playing football. So we grabbed some of his buddies. Some of them play basketball, other sports, but we brought all these boys over here, took the high school football coach, Mike Marksberry, took him down to the pond.
And he caught a fish.
Oh man, that big old catfish he caught, and them boys were eating that up.
Uh-oh, Kellen. Looky here, looky here.
Look at
Here
your
we
dad
go.
down there, Kellen.
See?
Oh, look at Kellen. Hey, they got a double.
Uh-oh,
Hey,
uh-oh,
look at that.
uh-oh.
Both of them
You better get it in
together at the
there.
same time.
Which one's gonna be bigger?
You better get in here.
Hey,
All
I'll
right,
go
now
cut-
we get to see
I'll go
whose is
cut your
bigger.
dad's line if he caught a bigger one.
Oh, man. Look at this.
Oh, yeah.
Looky here, looky here.
Look at you and Dad. Now, you caught a bluegill and he caught a crappie. Look at that big old slab crappie.
Yes, sir. Whoa. Calm down there, buddy.
It's a little more fun when they bite, ain't it?
Yeah.
Now, look at that, Kellen. You catching a double with your dad like that.
Right there.
Oh, yeah.
Looky there. Looky there. Looky there. You
Just
like
bump that.
You like it?
Something I enjoy seeing right there. You look at Mike over there, standing there with Kellen, just spending time fishing, and that's truly what it's all about right there.
Whoop, whoop, whoop.
Really, man?
There, you got it. You got it. Keep him going. Hang in there with him. Hang in there with him. Keep on. All right, bring it on in. Bring it on in. Stand right there. Stand right there. All right, now then. Put that in here. Hey, he ain't gonna bother you. Just grab a good grip on him. You got him? Because he's gonna flop. There you go. How many is that for today? 3. That's pretty good. And Now take him back down there, lay it down and turn. There you go.
When I look back on the direction in this season, I like to reflect back on them moments, and there are just so many great ones. And that's what fishing brings for me, and that's what our friendship and even the business side of how all this works with One Call Concepts and promoting the 811 message and call before you dig and all of that. But to think about all the memories it's made me, all the friendships it's made me, and just about the people. I always say for me, it's about telling people's story, and I'm gonna get to catch some fish along the way. And when we laugh about all these moments we've just shared tonight, man, Jimmy, it just don't get any better.
It doesn't, you're right, it's all about the people we meet everywhere. And you and I fit together pretty good because our personalities are very similar, that we've never met a stranger, because I'll talk to anybody, anywhere, for as long as they want to talk, and Mark's the same way, so
it don't get no better than all of that.
Can't go wrong.
The direction is brought to you by 811. Know what's below, call before you dig. We would also like to thank these fine partners. Closed captioning is brought to you by USA North. Call 811 before you dig.